saying? For me, I'm doing it for everybody. It's just not for me. This reward I'm going to go get is going to open the door for a lot of kids in the ghettos and lower income communities that think that they got to do certain things to make it out. I really thought I was going to be a basketball player.
I love it.
For me that way.
I love it.
Here's the power, a lot of power in what you're saying. But for me, hearing you, I started at 26 and you're 38. People think then this Instagram life is I'm supposed to have it tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm supposed to have it tomorrow. They want to put the time in. That's been 12 years of grinding.
Yes.
And it's been all of those years of learning and educating yourself. See, a lot of us as black men, I couldn't call my father or my uncle and go, hey, I just made $1 million. What do I do? Nobody talked to us about taxes. We didn't have the knowledge.
Right.
So now, looking at a 38-year-old black man who is getting the knowledge to be able to pass on to his kids.
Yes.
To be able to, and I see you even lecturing to people as you travel, telling them like, this is how you do it. When this deal with Ryan Coogler, everybody's talking about the Sinners deal, oh my God, he got this amazing deal. Listen, I called that brother up, as I did a lot of them. I called him up after Black Panther and I said, listen, here is how you do it. The deal that he has, my first movie, it'll be 20 years this year from Guy Ritchie.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I called him up and said, here is how you do that deal. Wow. And to see that they were able to pull it off, I applaud him, man. I'm excited for him.
That's right.
Because that's what it's about, holding on to the ownership. That's what changes it.
Yeah, but I got to say something about that real quick, though. Hold on. And I need you to jump into this too,
Okay.
Jay. See, that's the stuff, and I know you are a different machine, but that's the stuff I wish more people knew about him.
What?
Well, he calls Ryan Coogler at that level, and he calls him without the press, anybody knowing, and says, let me hip you the game when it comes to ownership. And so this thing about black men, that when we get knowledge and opportunities to pass on the nuggets, we don't, because we're afraid of somebody else taking that spot.
But your light is not gonna make me shine less. But what he's expressing and what I hear, I hear that, and what you're saying is I hear that that's a character flaw.
So how do we deal with that though, James? Because that is something deep in our community.
Can I object to that?
Hold up, let me say that's a character flaw, meaning that if you're scared to help someone else because you feel like it's gonna take more from you, that's personal. But the reason why black people are walking with Tyler and supporting what he's doing, because he's shown over time that he has character.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You're building character, because character is trust. I don't want to work with or for anyone that I don't trust. It could be a gazillion dollars.
But Jay, how do we deal with that issue that is still very prevalent?
Oh, no. What you deal with is you deal with people who have character. Because I don't want to be beside you or be signing your label or be a part of your business if you don't want me to win too. And that's what I said in the beginning about your visions aligning. How can I add value? That's my conversation. How can I add value? Like, what can I do for you?
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk all the time.
Share with him what you even do when you work with brands.
Okay, so let me, no, not as far as brands. Let's talk about my brother.
Okay.
He's a little bit younger than me, because I'm still young. But if he calls me, what do I say? Let's go have dinner, let's talk about it.
Yeah, he give me a bunch of good advice though.
Whatever it is, let's just have the conversation.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is, what I think it is, y'all know how like a kid get that toy on Christmas on the block. They got the best toy, and your neighbor might can't afford it. And you look like, Mom, he got that skateboard. They hold that mentality all the way up with the success. Because when you get it, it's like, I don't want to share it because I don't want to lose it.
Well, that's operating from a place of scarcity.
Yeah.
I'm talking about abundance.
Yeah.
That's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
But even when I didn't have it, it was the same thing, man. If I had the information, I just go back to Maya Angelou said, when you learn, teach.
Right.
And that has been what has been passed down through us for generations. They didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to write. They just wanted us to be ignorant and out in the cold. And there's a book called A Spook by the Door, where this black man sat by the door as a slave and learned all of what the master was talking about, and then passed it on. So that's exactly what I feel like when we learn, teach. So Ryan's not the only one I called. I called many of them.
I know.
A lot of them were, but a lot of them were like, what do you want? You trying to get us to do my deal? Like, no, I'm trying to give you the information. So we're not in a room talking about Oscar so white. It won't matter because you're in power.
I ain't gonna lie, Kirk. That's a real thing in the black community. Like, when it comes to our black men, that's a real thing. Can't lie. When we get something that's worth talking about, when we get something that's worth bragging about, when we get something that's worth of value to us, a new job, an opportunity, something that's gonna put us in an upper tier, something to separate us from the crowd. Like, oh, I got this and y'all don't. We not so quick to tell people how we got it. We not so quick to give up the plug. We not so quick to give up that information. We've never been built like that. That's something deep in our community. We got to go brag first. If I get a new job, if I get a new opportunity, I got to go brag about it first. I can't just go sharing the information, telling everybody how to do it, telling everybody how I got it. That's our mindset. Because if everybody got the good job, then I'm not so special for having the good job no more. If everybody got the same opportunity as me, what Jeezy say? Your light gonna make me shine less? That's the mindset of a lot of people, man. We all in this together, all right? This is a race to the top for all of us. We have to help each other, man. If God has got you and blessed you enough to make it to level 5, if you can help another brother get to level 4 or help another brother get from 4 to 5, that's your job. Pass that information down. I've been there before, trust me, so I know how it is. That's why I said I had to break the curse myself, right? I had to get rid of that character flaw. Now I'm able to help my brother. Now I'm able to pull other people up to level 4 and pull them up to level 5 to where I'm at, and I don't feel so out of place. I don't feel like, man, I just gave them an opportunity, now I can't brag about it. I don't feel like that no more because I broke the spell. Black men, we really got to pass down the information, because as black men, when it comes to the war on our people, and it is a war on our people, we are on the front lines, black men. We on the front lines, and we the last line of defense. So that means our people are going to move as we move. God is going to bless you. God will figure out a way to get you from level 5 to level 7, because you helped other people that was on level 2, 3, and 4 get to where you was at. You wasn't selfish with your position. And because you wasn't selfish with your position, God's going to take you to the next level. All right? Don't block your blessing being stingy with the blessing that God just gave you. If God gave you a blessing, don't be stingy with it. That's what I had to learn. God gave you that blessing. You didn't do that. God did that. God got you that new job. God got you that opportunity. God helped you get through all your adversity. That's why it's important to share that information. I've been victim to it. I was under the curse. I didn't want my brothers and my people to be as good as me. It could have been my trauma. But I wanted to brag a little bit. I wanted to be the man. I wanted to separate from the crowd. I didn't want everybody to have the same shoes as me. I didn't want everybody to have a good job like I had. I wanted to be the man. I wanted to talk about what I got for a little while before I pass on the information. We got to get out of that spell. Do not block your blessing, being stingy with the blessing that God gave you. God gave you that blessing so you can pass it down. You get to level 5 and you think that's it for you. That's what I used to do. When I would make it to that level, I thought that was it for me. I thought it was nothing else. So I would be stingy with that spot because I thought that spot was for me. But I wasn't knowing that when I help other people get to where I'm at, God gonna take me even higher. So don't be stingy with your blessing. God gave you that for you to share to the people. That blessing wasn't just for you. Remember that, because you can block your own blessing. When you stingy with that blessing that God gave to you, you blocked your next blessing. You don't even know what God got in store for you because you too busy being stingy with that one blessing God gave you. You don't even know God trying to take you to higher heights. Do not block your blessing being stingy. We got to pass on that information, pass on that knowledge. I know if I've dealt with it and I'm here at the bottom, Kirk Franklin's up there and he's dealt with it. He's the one that pointed it out. We have to be able to share the information. Like Maya Angelou said, when you learn, you teach. Go read that book, The Spook Who Sat by the Door. I learned it from Nipsey Hussle. That's who referenced it for me and made me go do my research on that book. But y'all go check that book out as well. It's a real thing in our community where we don't want to share down the information. We don't want to pass down that information, right? The game is to be sold, not told. That's us. We got to get out of that mentality. We got to be able to help one another. I should be able to rely on my brother when I'm going through hard times, right? Share the information, be better. This ain't just for y'all, this is for me too, because I've been there. I've been in that mindset. I had to do better. I had to break that character flaw within myself. So that I'm glad Kirk Franklin brought that up, man. That's a real thing. I see us getting a lot better at it, but we got to keep working on it, all right? Keep sharing information. Keep passing down the information. I know sometimes you only can give it out when people ask, but find out ways to go about your way and give out this game. Give out all the knowledge you got.
So let me match this though. Let me match this.
I want to talk about the mental health too.
Yeah.
Let's go back to that.
Just another part of it too is I don't think that we completely understand what is happening to us with social media. I don't think we understand.
Say that louder.
What is we are being torn apart mentally, dogged out, especially the nigga net. The nigga net is the worst thing I've ever
nigga net.
The nigga net. I'm talking about the internet. I'm talking about the nigga net. The nigga net is what we attack each other. We go after each other. We're constantly, and I don't know. I haven't seen another race do it as awful as we do to each other.
True.
So if you let all of that stuff in and never turn it off, and never turn off the news, never step back, never, like you say, go away, walk away from all of this stuff and the noise, like literally turn it off. I promise you, if people would just turn it off for a while, you'll see your whole mentality changes.
Do you ever
I applaud you for even being that tuned in to
the nigga
what's going the part too. I try myself to like let my team run that and stay as far away from that as possible, because clarity to me is the best thing, and the more I'm at peace, the better decisions I make and the broader my vision is. The more I'm able to educate myself, learn what others, pour into others, be a fixture in my community and do all these things, because I wrote New York Times bestsellers and
congrats on that.
Appreciate that. And 50 million records and all this stuff, but nothing means more to me than being a vessel to actually take the time. I learned that I was a life path 7, and for me that means that I like to learn, find out the answers, get wisdom, and then share it with people, which is why I was able to do that in music and in books. So this next 10 years of my life is more so about how much can I learn, how can I sit at tables like this and take this back. So if I'm sitting somewhere tonight with one of my friends and they ask me a question, or one of my colleagues, I can tell them what I learned at this table today. They wasn't privy to be here, but that's my passion, that's who I am as a vessel, right? But that brings me, to answer your question, that brings me peace, joy. I go sit in nature by myself. People don't know that. I just go sit, and be still.
It's funny because before I started my journey on YouTube, before I got on social media, spreading my message, I literally had to do exactly what Tyler Perry is saying. I literally had to quiet all of the noise, all right? I'm talking about from social media to my friends group that I was hanging out with, to all the things that I used to do in the past. I literally had to quiet all of the noise from family, friends, co-workers. Like, I literally had to be in my own zone for a good little minute too. It wasn't something that was a quick process. Like, I literally had to sit with myself for a while, right? And after sitting with myself and getting to learn myself, I built up this confidence to be able to sit in front of this camera and spread this message. So I think sitting with yourself is important, but it's also important to quiet the noise, all right? You really gotta go silent, okay? Quiet that noise. It's so many people that are on social media. What I've learned about social media and people's engagement with social media, sometimes you could be on social media so much and you can engage so much that you start to think that social media is real life. You start to think that the perspectives that people have on social media are real life perspectives. And sometimes that is the case, but more often than not, that is not the case, all right? Most of the time, social media is not a real place, all right? The perspectives and opinions that people have on social media, a lot of times you're not gonna come across too many people with those same perspectives, all right? The conversations and the viewpoints are different from social media to real life, right? The way that, when I get on social media, the way that women are perceived on social media, crazy, right? Wild, right? If I listen to social media, I probably wouldn't even want to go out there and find a woman. You know what I mean? But to be honest, in real life, when I'm going to Starbucks, when I'm going to Jamba Juice, when I'm in the gym, these women that I'm seeing on social media, those are not the type of women that I'm seeing in real life, right? The conversations that I have with women, these are not the conversation that they're having on social media, right? I'm having real life conversations. It's cool on social media to have debates and things like that. That's cool. But what's not cool is you being so caught up in social media that you don't realize that this is not a real place. And honestly, who knows, right? It might be the same thing for women. Women might get on the internet and see a perspective that men ain't nothing, men don't have this, men don't have that, right, on the internet. But women, when you get out in the real world, you'll see it's plenty of good men out here. It's plenty of men with good jobs. It's plenty of men who take care of their kids. It's plenty honest, faithful men out here. But if you getting on the internet, right, and that's all you seeing, that's gonna be your perspective. People start to think the internet is a real place, right? If all I'm seeing is wild women on the internet and cheating women on the internet and women who ain't got no sense on the internet, I'ma think that that's their perspective. I'ma think that that's a real thing. But it's not, bro. I'm out here in the real world and I can tell you it's not. It's a lot of good women out here. But being on the internet will make you think a certain way. And that goes across the board for everything, right? It's the same thing when you have people who watch the news too much. I know people who know all they do is just watch the news all day, watch the news all day. They're gonna think that the world is way worse than it really is. Don't get me wrong, the world is pretty messed up right now. But that person that's sitting down watching the news all day, that's gonna become their perspective. That's gonna become their reality. So now they're thinking that the world is a lot worse than it really is, right? Because they're not seeing all the good things that the world has to offer, right? There's a lot of good in this world as well. But if all you do is watch the news and just watch all the terrible things that's happening in the world, that's gonna be your perspective. So that's why it's so important, bro, to cut all the noise out. When I say cut out all the noise, that's social media, that's the news, that's the friend groups that you were hanging around, right? Your environment. You have to go silent from all of that. You have to sit with yourself and start to build with yourself, right? That's what gave me the confidence to be able to speak publicly, right? I had to build that confidence in myself. I had to cut out all the noise around me. I had to cut out friend groups. I had to cut out social media. I had to really go silent and really sit with myself and start to build with myself, all right? Don't let social media become your reality, right? I'm from an era where we had to go outside and play. So social media didn't consume us the way it does now. So if you're somebody who's younger, who when you were coming up, all y'all knew was social media, it's even more important for you guys to really give it a rest, right? Because you guys don't know nothing else but social media, right? I was lucky enough, like I got there right before social media really took off. So we still had to go outside and play and face real problems, right? Nowadays, the younger generation, a lot of you guys' problems is on social media, right? So it's real important for you guys, especially, man, especially once you hit adulthood, when you get 18, bro, you gotta take a break from all that, bro. Because all those followers and being popping on social media, that don't mean nothing if you don't love yourself, right? If you don't care about yourself. I done seen plenty people who was popping on social media, had a bunch of followers, a bunch of money, and they just lose it all. I've seen people commit suicide. I've seen it all, bro, based on this camera. Being in front of this camera, in front of the world. People lose it all, man. So don't be that person, bro. Take a break from social media, right? Go tune into your real life. Go tune into your real world, bro. Because I promise you, that when that camera goes off, bro, you still got to deal with yourself. You still got to face your problems. You still got to face that trauma. You still got to face that man in the mirror. I promise you that. Social media will have you competing with people you don't even know. You will literally start to compete with people that you don't even know. People you never met before, you start to compete with them, right? You start to lessen yourself because people you've never met before have more than you, right? You might be 22 years old and your life ain't all that. You don't have your own house or your own car. And now here come this kid that's 21. He got his own house. He got his own car. Now you feeling less about yourself. Social media will make you forget that it's not reality, right? It's not the real world. That's what you guys got to realize. So that's why it's important to put the phone down. Don't spend your life scrolling all day. Put the phone down. Put the laptop down. Block out all the noise, man.
World, I care about influence over the dollar because as long as you got the influence, the money gonna come to you. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at what I don't have. I look at what I'm going to get. And then when you get to that level, what you're trying to get, you're looking at how many people you motivated doing it. And that's how I look at it, because if I just look at bank accounts every day, bank accounts, it's going to drive you crazy, because for me right now, I got 400 employees. I got a lot of bills. Probably ain't got y'all type of bills, but I got bills. But
all relative, bro.
But the thing is that every time I go look at payroll, I thank God that I can pay this payroll.
That's right.
Every time I go to my rents, I thank God I can pay these rents.
Right.
Because it's not about me. I watch people that was homeless, didn't have cars, wasn't married, buy houses, all through the dream that I cared about. So that put a different level of expectation on success for me.
Right.
You know, and that's what I care about. So that's what I would say to that.
What's up?
I just want to say to both of you, and thanks for having me here, Kirk, just the perspective of understanding what you carry and how many people you carry is really, really important. But at the same time, allowing yourself to be gentle with yourself and saying, okay, this is too much. You've got to get off. This is enough. See, I'm 55, so I'm at a different place in my life. Like I'm at a place where I built it. You said, oh, you always, what's next? What's next? No, I'm good. I'm good. If I died tomorrow, I have done everything on this planet I wanted to, except see my son have kids and become a grandpa and all the other things. But as far as business goes, I'm pretty good. And it's really easy to say for somebody to sit here who has means and go, like we all do, and go, well, money. It's because the person out there watching is going, well, you know, they say money don't make happiness, but I sure in hell would like to find out.
Yes.
But the truth of the matter is this, what I found about, as you said, perfect word, money's a tool so that you can get the things that you need and all the other stuff. But who you are, you're only going to become more of that with money. So if you're a good person and you're setting a good standard with nothing, you can hold that all the way through having it all. Because that is what God is looking at. Where is your heart right now?
Yeah,
Where's
man.
your heart with nothing?
Man.
You know, when I had $2 and I would give one to the church, that was my heart saying, and if you want it all, God, I'll give it all to you. So that's where my heart is. So God is looking at your heart. What is your heart saying? I don't care if you're broke. I don't care if you have $1 billion or $10 billion. What is your heart? And according to the word of God, what is in a man's heart, so shall he be. Right?
That's good.
Wow.
Yeah. So my hope for everybody who is trying and struggling, and this whole mental health thing is a real thing. I checked into a place in Arizona. I was supposed to be there a week, ended up there 3 weeks, because I had gotten to a place at 54 that I was just like, I can't take this anymore. I can't.
How brave of you to share that with us, though, man.
No, I've been telling everybody, man, I can't hold the weight of this anymore. And I didn't even know how bad it was until I was sitting there in the therapy session and I was describing to her what most men go through. It's like, I just feel like I'm holding everything and it's just too much and it's breaking, and I've got all these people dependent on me and I can't handle it right now. I can't handle it. The things I used to do, all the tools that worked before, me praying, me going to church, me going to nature, me getting away, me walking with my son, me going to the beach, going to the island, doing all this stuff, none of that was working. So what she explained to me in my first therapy session in my entire life, what she said to me was, look behind you, there was a picture on the wall. There's a man in a business suit with an umbrella holding up the rain, and then there's a kid holding it out in the rain, and then there's another kid with a balloon. And she was explaining to me, here is what has happened. This is everything you've just described. You're born in this world in purity, beauty, wonderful kid. Then life happens and you're out in the rain, and then you become a man and you're holding it all together. And what happens is that man starts to break. He can't handle it anymore. Jeez. And you're young, my friend. Just hold on. Just hold on. It'll show up. Jeez. And when it does, what she's saying, what you have to do is go back and get that child that's out in the rain, and go back and remember the child that you were born with, and realize that you're all one.
I just had that said to
Hold.
And once I got that entire fusion together of picking up the child that was up and letting myself know that I couldn't handle it all and not trying to control everything, my whole life got better. I started not giving any stuff about
that's so real,
that kind of stuff. It'll help you.
That was my
finding that
journey
little boy in yourself.
Yeah, because I had been through so much stuff when I was younger.
Yeah.
And as I got older, and that's why I'm saying that wholeheartedly. I know money doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Because that was my motivation.
Yeah.
As long as I got it, I can get it, I'm gonna be good. And when I got it, it was like pouring gasoline on a fire. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't right. And I had to go back and get that little J and let him know he was okay and parent him and start that journey. And I can tell you right now, I know I'm not the richest man at the table, but I'm the richest man at the table.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's how I really feel. That's
Lars.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Now let's put that in perspective. Now, how much money y'all think Tyler Perry is spending for a therapy session? Right? I can think of all kind of numbers that this man probably spent for therapy. Now, here it is, him giving us a gem like this, right? He giving us some good advice right here, right? This is coming directly from his therapist, who I know is charging a grip. So I'm happy we got this information. I'm happy, shout out to Kirk Franklin for getting a heavy hitter like Tyler Perry to sit down. Man, this is amazing, right? Right, and I don't even want to go too deep into it because I feel like he kind of gave you the memo already, right? He gave you the tools. You have to heal that inner child within yourself. So if you're in a position right now where you can't afford therapy or you never thought about therapy, this video is for you. This message is for you. Tyler just gave you what a therapist would tell you. And the reason I love that he gave that analogy, because what Tyler is speaking on, he's not speaking on something that billionaires go through or millionaires go through, or you got to be in a certain privileged position. No, what he's speaking on, all men go through this. As a man, we've been through this. I know I've dealt with this. I know plenty of men that have dealt with this, man, to where you just feel like you can't carry it no more. Right? To where you feel like you've been silent for so long and you're suffering in silence, right? And you just really getting to your breaking point to where you can't handle it no more. All men have been there, right? I'm pretty sure there's been some women that have been there for sure, but I know for a fact a lot of men have dealt with what Tyler is speaking on. This is not a billionaire or a millionaire issue. This is all men, man. We all go through this. We all go through moments where we feel like we about to break, where we feel like we've reached our breaking point because we haven't been able to express ourselves, because we've been holding everything in, because we got to keep it together all the time, right? Because it's not cool for a man to be vulnerable, to show his emotions, right? Because men, we don't have safe spaces like that. Right? We don't have these opportunities to just be vulnerable, to just cry, to just let it all out. As a man, we can't do that. We got to hold our family up. We got to hold our families together. So we've all, as men, been at our breaking point, right? So this message is for all men, man. He just told you what a therapist would tell you. Go heal your inner child. Go get that inner child out of the rain, man, and you got to heal. You got to raise that inner child back up, right? And then from there, it's on you, man. But I just know that he just gave us amazing advice. And I'm glad he gave this information directly from his therapist. Because to be honest, in the black community, not all of us can afford therapy. All right, that's why I stopped preaching therapy as much as I was. And I preach now more self-healing. It's because a lot of us cannot afford therapy. A lot of us can't. A lot of us is just not in our budget to have a therapist, right? And then we all don't know about the ways, the affordable ways to go about it, like going through a church and different things like that. We don't all have that insight, right? So I speak a lot about self-healing, but therapy is also an option. Therapy is something that we all should just have. I hate that therapy costs so much. I hate that it's not accessible in our communities as it should be. But I'm glad he gave us this information, because now we all know you have to heal your inner child. So many people like myself grew up and we never healed that trauma. We kind of just toughed it out, right? We kind of just felt like, hey, we got it. We can get through it. We've been through this, we've been through that. Ain't nothing we can't get through. That's kind of our mindset. So we grow up with this trauma and we never get it healed. So this therapist, straight from his therapist's mouth, he told you got to heal that inner child in you. Heal that inner child in yourself, man. Y'all got to come back up. Raise that inner child back up, right? Bring that confidence out of that inner child, man. And I promise you, it's going to directly impact your life. You heard Tyler said it himself. You heard Jeezy say it himself. I'm saying it, man. You got to heal your inner child. Right? So if you can't afford therapy, now you got it. Now you got the information that you need. That's what this video was about. This video was about making sure that y'all get the information that y'all need. And I think he killed it right there. So I'm probably going to end this video right here, man. I think that was amazing, right? To get that nugget, to get that jewel, right? Heal your inner child. Raise your inner child back up, man. That's the message. That's the homework. That's what y'all need to do, man. Shout out to Kirk Franklin once again, man, for getting a heavy hitter like Tyler Perry. Shout out to young Jeezy. Shout out to Derrick, man. Shout out to the whole crew, the chef. You know what I mean? But shout out to Kirk for real, man, for getting a heavy hitter like Tyler Perry. Hopefully we got another episode that we can react to. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. All right, man, that's it. That's my video, man. I want to thank y'all for watching. I want to thank all my new subscribers out there. And please, if you watch this video, make sure y'all leave a comment, man. Let me know what y'all thought of the topics. Let me know what y'all thought of my commentary. Please, I don't want to be the only one joining the conversation, all right? So make sure y'all leave a comment, man. Let me know what y'all thought of the video. And stay tuned for the next one, man. We out of here.